Hello, Business 330 students. This is Professor Hassey. It's our week six weekend video. Today's date is Sunday, July 16th, and I'll be reviewing and going over the assignment number 4, which was posted this weekend, due Sunday, July 23rd. It is a capital budget analysis problem, very similar to the ones we reviewed in our last video. Your job is on the spreadsheet provided to complete the analysis, and we'll go over that in just a minute. Here's where we stand currently in our Business 330 class. We have, after today, 2 more weeks to go. The capital budget analysis will be posted next Sunday. And then next weekend, your final examination will be posted online, and you'll be preparing that over the next week and turning it in on Sunday, July 30th. So assignment 4 this next Sunday, and the final examination the following Sunday, and then you've completed your coursework for Business 330. There'll be another evaluation of your portfolio, your stock portfolio, and that'll be part of your final examination. Final examination will cover mainly the second half of our class, from including the capital budget analysis to dividends and debt management, and in our final discussion of long-term and short-term financial planning, but we'll talk more about that this next week. So let's take a look at where we are here. You have your grades posted through assignment 3, so you have a good idea where you stand. Assignment 4 is this week, and then the final week, the final examination. Again, remember, there's no course assessment case paper that has been canceled. This weekend, I have posted an assignment for you to do to determine the return of an investment of $750,000 over 5 years with the following variables: depreciation of $150,000 a year, a salvage value at the end of its life of $25,000, a working capital of 10% of annual sales, a tax rate of 22%, inflation rate of 4% a year, 40,000 units sold per year at a selling price of $40 a unit, fixed operating costs every year of $175,000, and a variable overhead cost per unit of $30 a unit. What you'll do is need to put these into the spreadsheet format. We'll look at that spreadsheet format in a minute, and fill in and do the arithmetic to determine net present value, internal rate of return, profitability index, and payback, just like we did earlier last week in those 2 problems we reviewed on our video. So that's your topic, is to do a capital budget analysis. Here's the spreadsheet for that analysis, where you're asked to prepare these 4 answers. This is the 4 answers of your assignment number 4. Come up with the NPV, IRR, profitability index, and payback. Here are all the variables for the case. I've given you them right here. Your job is to put them in the proper format here. Determine earnings before taxes, take the tax out, net income, add back in salvage value, depreciation, take into account working capital, and determine the net cash flow. The net cash flow discounted at your cost of capital, which is given to you in this problem at 9%. You can determine NPV and the following. That's your job. These areas in yellow are what you need to accomplish to complete this assignment. These 4 numbers, and tell me whether it's a yes or a no as far as an approved capital budget. Do these numbers look like you would approve this, or they're not good enough and you would say no? Just a yes or no. Those are the answers you need to provide for this assignment. Now, in my lecture video tomorrow, Monday, the 17th, I will have another review of capital budget analysis with another problem that'll be very close to this one, and you can review it and it should help you. But you'll have all the material already to complete this from our video of last week. But again, if you have difficulties with it, you can again look at my video tomorrow, which might be able to help you as well. But your job is to take these variables and put them in the appropriate cells, do the arithmetic, and come up with these answers. That's your job for assignment number 4. Due next Sunday. So again, more on that in my week 7 lecture video to be posted Monday, July 17th. So that's where you stand right now. Now let's take a look, just review what we've done prior leading up to this assignment. Remember in week 5, we had our introduction, the first week of capital budget analysis. And we did these 2 problems. This file folder is located in week 5. Here is learning how to calculate net present value, internal rate of return, profitability, and payback. This is the problem we use to calculate that. And what you do is you take the cash flow over the lifespan, determine the discounted cash flow, taking that cash flow at its cost of capital, 11%. By the way, in assignment 4, it's 9%. And once you determine that net present value, you subtract the investment. In this case was 200, and there's your net present value. The difference between the discounted cash flow that you project off this asset minus the investment in the asset equals the net present value. The internal rate of return is what is this in a percent? So the calculation is to take the IRR function and do it over the entire life of the project and determine the interest rate. In this case, it was 21.86%. The profitability index is the ratio of the discounted cash flow to the investment. So what's the relationship in a ratio between the discounted cash flow and the investment? And the payback is how many years does it take you to pay back the investment? In this example, it was 1, 2.5 years. In project B, in this example, it was 2 years. No discounting cash in this example, or this analysis. Payback is just strictly how long did it take you to pay back the investment in cash flow. Those are the 4 calculations you have to use in assignment 4. Then in chapter 9, we looked at how to determine the cash flow, how to set this problem up, which you'll have to do in that spreadsheet in assignment 4, is what's the investment? What are the revenues, expenses, and depreciation of the project? Earnings before taxes is those expenses minus revenue. Take 40, or in this case, 40%. In assignment 4, it's 22% to determine your tax. Then you take the working capital. In this case, the working capital was 20% of next year's sales. Remember, the working capital has to net out to 0. And then you add back in the depreciation in this, okay? There's no salvage value here, so there's nothing in year 4 about getting any money back from the disposal of the asset. And thus you have your cash flow. The investment plus the working capital in year 0, the net income plus or minus the working capital and depreciation, there's your cash flow. And in this case, the cash flow was $62,000 generated off an investment of $53,000. Then you take that, you determine your discounted cash flow. Here, the discount or the cost was 12%. The difference between the discounted cash flow and the investment, in this problem, a loss. The internal rate of return, the profitability index, and the payback. This is a perfect example of what you'll be doing in assignment 4, and my lecture video on Monday the 17th will go over this again in another problem context. So it should give you a good base to figure out that assignment. This is a key part. You'll be using capital budget analysis for the remaining of your courses in your business administration program. It's a key element of business study. What are we returning from an investment in an asset to include all the revenues and cost and expenses and cash flow generated off that investment, will we get our money back? In the problem we did in Chapter 8, we are getting our money back. It looked good. In the problem we did in Chapter 9, we are not getting our money back. That's a loser. So that's your determination of what you need to do in assignment 4. So look these problems over. They will help you. So that's where we stand this weekend. At the end of week 6, we're completing our capital budget analysis study, thus leading to assignment number 4, which you'll be doing this week. My lecture video on Monday, we'll be doing another, some more samples of capital budgeting analysis, and we'll begin our discussion of debt, financing, and dividends for week 7. 2 more grades left, assignment 4 and the final. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Adios.